So, Rossi is out today. I like the fact that they gave her a red hood, even though she's a wolf herself. Obviously, take a page out of Little Red Riding Hood and have her brother as a wolf. But then, who's the grandma? It's gotta be this penguin administrator. Cause I believe that she has already been living for over hundreds of years. Anyway, my name is Ryusuke. Please do like and sub, and welcome to the Day 1 Rossi analysis. We will be going over the gear, the rotation, and the team to help you get started with Rossi on day 1. It's gonna take a while for the community to figure out all the new ones, and most importantly, should you pull her or not. So, Rossi is a physical guard. Her role is actually very flexible. She could be an on-field DPS herself, being a second DPS while providing support, providing crazy amounts of vulnerability, which we all know that the amounts of vulnerability is extremely important in the physical team. And we got our first duo element. Her skill count as physical, while her ultimate count as fire damage, introducing the first agent that is dedicated for the hybrid team. But first, let's talk a little bit about the pull decision, should you pull her or not. By the time I'm making this video, I've already seen a loss of like 30-second clear with the Rossi, and I think she's easily one of the best DPS in the entire game. At least on par with Levitain and Tang. But still, don't feel pressure to pull her, cause there will be stronger character in the future. I think someone like Mifu and Zhuangfang Yi are some of the most highly anticipated character. Pulling a character because you like the character will always be the right choice. And in what account she gonna be highly valuable to? Is any account with Gilberta, cause their kit match each other perfectly. The ultimate of Gilberta is actually very weird. There's no single operator in the game that could fully benefit the buff from the Gilberta. They could only benefit as much as 33 damage buff from Gilberta, while Rossi could benefit up to 42% because it requires operator to deal R damage while being able to build vulnerability on top of that. And Rossi is the only operator that can do this. But keep in mind that we still have a loss of character coming, so Rossi might not be the only character that could deal R damage and inflict vulnerability simultaneously in the future. So definitely don't feel pressure into pulling her, and save the pull for the character that you like. And don't worry if you don't have Gilberta, we do have the alternative team, which I'm gonna cover later. And since Rossi generate a loss of vulnerability, we gotta have somebody to consume it, like Administrator and the Dapan. And Pog is generally not recommended, unless you are playing physical Rossi team, which main DPS is not coming from Rossi. Her skill is counted as physical, it would apply 1 vulnerability, and if there are already vulnerability on the enemy, she's gonna deal an extra attack to the enemy. It will also apply a debuff called the Razor Claw Mark. It's gonna deal physical damage over time, and it's gonna debuff the enemy to take more heat and physical damage. But what makes her so unique is the combo skill. Not only that it applies 1 vulnerability, and if you time her second combo attack correctly, and yes, she deals 2 combo attacks in one sequence, she will consume the infliction, turns it into damage. Like for this example is the ice infliction. She will consume the infliction, turns it into damage, and apply another vulnerability on top of that. That's a total of 3 vulnerability from a skill and a combo. And since Rossi main stat is agility and intelligence as secondary, the MI security set with agility and intelligence are the go-to set. And for off-piece, you want to go for the Redeemer's Glove, since ultimate is her main source of damage. And the other variation is swap one of the off-piece into the Link Slap, exchanging some crit rate into some main stat. And just hold on to artificing these gear, and wait for the guide maker killing each other to figure out which one is 4% better. And there's this other setup here if Rossi turns out to be a combo DPS character. Since it's very less likely, I'm just gonna put it out here on what Theory Crafter speculated. And about her signature weapon and her battle pass weapon, Glorious Memory as 0 potential is about 75 to 80% of the signature weapon, and as its full potential, it will be about 90% of the signature weapon. Not gonna lie, it's sitting on a pretty weird spot, whether it's a must pull or not. It's kind of better, but not that much better. It really depends on how badly you want the signature on the next character. By and large, skipping it or getting it are not bad choice. So let's understand the basic idea of playing Rossi. You wanna have somebody to apply art infliction and the vulnerability. The vulnerability doesn't have to be coming from other operator, it can be coming from the skill of Rossi to trigger her combo skill. And it's also the most important aspects of the Rossi, because it's gonna set up for her ultimate, get all the buff for her ultimate, then you nuke with her ultimate. And then since you build up so much vulnerability, you wanna have somebody to consume it, like the administrator or 大潘. Poker is not recommended unless your main source of DPS is coming from physical, which he will have his place in the physical Rossi team. You might be seeing some really crazy run out there without administrator and the 大潘, cause they are aiming to kill the boss within one rotation. But in general, burning the vulnerability is a strong and consistent option. My first go-to team is definitely this team, Rossi, Gilberta, Agekuri, and Administrator, because it doesn't require crazy amounts of investment and it can hardly mess up, and most of you probably built Agekuri already. This is gonna be the rotation for this team. You can pause it or screenshot it. And by the way, this is a DPS rotation. And when your ultimate is not available, it's gonna be off rotation and it's gonna be looking like this. And as for other variation for this team, you can replace Agekuri with Perika, but the problem with Perika is the weapon. She might be using the same weapon as the Gilberta, but if Gilberta has her own weapon, then she's an amazing option. Adrelia is also a pretty good option. She provides a lot of debuff and some infliction. Wugard is actually the best option in this slot. If he's fully built at level 90, built like a DPS, and fully artifice, and you want him to be at the potential 5, cause that makes a huge difference on the infliction. With the weapon clannable, maybe at least the wedge. This is gonna be his gear as a secondary DPS, and if your Wugard is not highly built, it's straight up better to just use Adelia, especially at her potential 1. And this is gonna be the Wugard rotation. And as you can see, the part that I said out immediately with the Gilberta, you wanna use her out before Wugard finish his skill animation. And this is gonna be the off rotation of this team. The free-to-play team that I'm recommending is Agekuri, Administrator, and the Adelia. In case if you don't have Gilberta, and you can swap Agekuri with the fully built Wugard, or swap Administrator into Panda. And this is the free-to-play Adelia team. You wanna start the rotation with the final strike, and just follow this flow chart. And this is the off rotation. The Chen free-to-play team is also pretty interesting. The idea is stack up the vulnerability as soon as possible for Administrator or the 大潘 to burn all the stack. And here is the rotation for the team. It looks complicated at the first sight, but it's not. And you want to use Chen ultimate during the staggering. And finally, the physical team with the Li Fang and the Poker. And again, you can swap out Administrator for the Panda. And the idea is still the same. You wanna use Rossi as the battery for the vulnerability. It's gonna be looking like this. You wanna always start with the Li Fang skill, just like the typical physical team. But Rossi gotta rely on her ultimate to build up the vulnerability, because there's no other unit here can build up the art infliction for the Rossi. And there are some other team that I can't really cover, cause her team flexibility is just simply crazy. But I can tell that these can be perfectly strong team. Anyway, I hope you guys won the 50-50. Don't forget to like and sub, and see ya guys.